Imagine being at the top of your game. The world knows your name, sings your songs, hangs on every note you hit. For pop sensation Leo Vance, this wasn't imagination, it was his reality. His voice wasn't just his talent, it was his identity, the very core of his being. He was living the dream, a whirlwind of sold-out stadiums, screaming fans, and chart-topping hits. The music flowed through him, a powerful current that connected him to millions. But what happens when the music suddenly stops? One night, during a high-energy performance, something snapped. It wasn't a dramatic fall or a sudden collapse, but a quiet, terrifying tear in his vocal cords. The diagnosis was brutal, severe damage, a long and uncertain road to recovery, and the very real possibility that he might never sing professionally again. The silence that followed was deafening. The roar of the crowd was replaced by the hum of hospital machines and the quiet whispers of doctors. For Leo, the world went mute. The initial shock gave way to a profound sense of loss. He was no longer Leo Vance, the pop star. He was just Leo, a man stripped of his defining gift. The isolation was a heavy cloak. Friends from the industry called, of course, but their well-meaning words of "you'll get through this" felt hollow. They couldn't understand the silence. His life, once a symphony, was now a single, dissonant chord of despair. He retreated from the world, the recording studio gathering dust, his piano untouched. Fame, he realized, was a fickle friend, and without his voice, he felt invisible. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Physical therapy was grueling, a frustrating process of relearning how to use the very instrument that had once come so naturally. He could speak, but the rich, effortless power of his singing voice was gone, replaced by a strained, fragile whisper of what it used to be. The frustration was immense. He'd spend hours trying to hit notes that were once child's play, only to be met with a painful rasp. He was adrift in an ocean of silence, his passion a ghost haunting the empty rooms of his mansion. He felt like he'd lost everything. But sometimes, in our lowest moments, a new path reveals itself. One afternoon, while aimlessly scrolling online, Leo stumbled upon a video. It showed a group of deaf children at a music class. They weren't hearing the music in the conventional sense. They were feeling it. They placed their hands on speakers to feel the vibrations. They watched their teacher sign the rhythm, their faces alight with pure, unadulterated joy. For the first time in months, Leo felt a flicker of something other than despair. It was curiosity. It was a connection. He saw that music wasn't just about sound. It was about vibration, rhythm, and emotion. It was a language that could be felt, seen, and experienced in ways he had never considered. These children, living in a world of silence, were connecting with music on a deeply physical and emotional level. A radical idea began to form in his mind. What if his journey through silence wasn't an end, but a beginning? What if he could use his experience to connect with these kids? Hesitantly at first, Leo reached out to the school from the video. Armed with his deep knowledge of music theory and a newfound humility, he offered to volunteer. He was nervous. What could a singer who couldn't sing offer to children who couldn't hear? But the moment he walked into that classroom, everything changed. The children weren't interested in his past fame. They were captivated by his passion. Leo started by teaching them about rhythm, using drums and tapping exercises. He had them place their hands on his chest as he hummed low, steady notes, allowing them to feel the vibrations resonate through his body. He used colored lights that pulsed in time with the beat, translating sound into a visual spectacle. He wasn't just teaching music. He was building a bridge between two worlds of silence. He was showing them that music was a force, an energy that could be felt in their bones and seen with their eyes. He began to see music in a completely new light. It wasn't about perfect pitch or hitting soaring high notes anymore. It was about connection. It was about the shared joy on a child's face when they felt the thrum of a bass guitar for the first time. It was about creating a symphony of stomping feet and clapping hands. In their world, he found a new way to express his own passion, a way that didn't rely on his damaged vocal cords. Slowly, painstakingly, Leo began to heal. Not just his voice, which through this gentle, new use, started to regain some of its strength, but more importantly, his spirit healed. The silence he had once feared became a space of understanding and empathy. He learned sign language, and his hands became his new instruments, weaving stories and melodies through the air. He found that the fulfillment he got from seeing a child sign the word music with a huge smile was more profound than any standing ovation he had ever received. He was no longer just a pop star who had lost his voice. He was a teacher, a mentor, a guide. He had discovered a purpose that transcended fame and album sales. His injury had forced him into a silent world, but in doing so, it had opened his ears and his heart to a different kind of music. A harmony created not by sound, but by connection, empathy, and shared joy. Leo's journey is a powerful reminder that sometimes our greatest setbacks can lead to our most meaningful purpose. He lost the voice that made him a star, but in the silence, he found a new voice, a more powerful one, that allowed him to empower others. He didn't just reclaim his music, he redefined it. He proved that harmony is about what we hear, it's about what we feel and what we share. And that is a melody that can truly change the world. Thank you so much for watching and sharing this journey with us. If this story moved you, please give it a like and subscribe for more content that inspires. We'll see you in the next one.